Well, good day, kings and queens. Actually, good evening. But this is another video. I've just finished recording the past one. Oh, the name is wrong. The name is wrong. I don't know what this was, so I'm just gonna remove this. There we go. Because I don't know what this opening was. Anyway, I had the black pieces here. And my opponent he played d4. Knight f6. I usually play this, and lately I play various things. I used to play against c4, as you will see in some of my videos. I can play c5, I can play g6 and then d5, or d6, which is the King's Indian or the Grunfeld stuff I grew up playing. So I'm very comfortable in these positions. But lately I have been looking at e6, the Nimzo Indian, with the Rogozin, d5 and then bishop b5, in some lines, and maybe even c5, just classical Nimzo Indian. These lines, I find them pretty interesting, especially the arising pawn structures. And because that's what I'm learning now, like piece play with pawns and all of that, it makes sense for me to get into a lot of those positions. So I'm learning that now. Anyway, that's not how this game went. Before knight f6, then my opponent went knight c3. I figured he probably wants to play the Jobava London of some sort, which you normally just go knight. I mean bishop f4, right? And e3 then knight c3. But anyway, I went d5. What else I was gonna do? And then d5, and then e4. So it's interesting. It's not the first time I actually faced such a gambit. I don't know why it's so popular, but maybe I'm the one who lives under the rock. But I mean, if I was supposed to take with the knight, I took with the pawn, and then f3. It's actually a line, and then knight c3. It's called, according to chess.com, it's Blackier-Demier or Demier Gambit. Yeah, whatever that is. But okay, bishop g5. I mean, this was natural to me. And then here he had to play h3, played bishop c4, and then e6 was best, obviously, because I also need to castle as soon as possible. Then I played h3, bishop h5, g4, bishop g6, best move, queen a2 from him, and then bishop e7. Now here, I couldn't figure out to play c6 immediately, to play knight here, or to play knight there, because I'm also looking at this idea of bishop to g5 pinning, but then I just unpin and then kick the bishop out afterwards. So I just opted for bishop e7 because I wanted to castle as soon as possible, but c6 immediately was best. And he played bishop to excuse me, to e3, and this was an inaccuracy. The engine actually wanted h4 immediately, at which point I would just take with the knight, and there was d5, because you're trying to get after the king while it's still in the center. The piece configuration sort of allows that, with the queen looking at the bishop this way, right? But already black is better, like because of the way he was playing. Anyway, knight c6. Now here again, I wanted to play knight d7 and just chill, but I thought, look, I want to control d4 as much as possible. In fact, probably c6 was still best, because then now there's no way he was going to control over d4. But I didn't like the idea that this is passive with knight d7. I thought just knight c6, like why not? That's what I thought, just knight c6. And what's interesting now was the knight c6 inaccuracy. I mean, it was bad. And then here I even played a worse of a move, because this now allows d5 immediately. But my opponent didn't play d5 to break in the center. I was kind of mad at myself because I know these ideas, but somehow I was sleeping in this game. I mean, you would think knight here is fine because of this, but after this doesn't really scare anybody, because pawn takes. I think you can even take, and if bishop takes, you can just take. You're still hitting the queen, and you're gonna take check. All of a sudden, the king is uncomfortable and stuck in the center, and there are all these pieces from white coming in. So here he misses the golden opportunity, and he plays bishop to b3 to protect his pawn. But that was just that was basically a hoax. There was nothing there, and now I just park my knight here. It was my plan. I'm gonna play c6 probably at some point. Why not? That was the idea all along. Here I had to take with the pawn, and the point is I shut out this bishop immediately. Moves like c4 weaken the king. If he tries to activate his bishop this way, then I'm just gonna build with c6 afterwards, and yeah, the bishop will be offside, very offside. Yeah, and I don't have to worry about because the bishop is here now, and so the e file is kind of clumped up. So if he tries for something like let me see, say like rook here, just castles, right? So I'm in time for things like this to put my rook behind my bishop. I'm in time for that. And then followed by c6, just followed by c6, and just holding, like just holding. So yeah, that is just quite interesting. In fact, wait, I think bishop g5 wins a pawn. If here, I think he wins a pawn. Does he win a pawn? I just want to see if I'm seeing this correctly. Check. Maybe, yeah. I don't know. Anyway, I took with the knight. Oof. And then a5. Okay, here. So here he took some time to play king b1. Which also doesn't make sense because he's already walking into the diagonal, right? He walks into the pin. Didn't make sense. And here I played a5, which was the best move. Because now castling is slow. This is faster because the bishop is misplaced, and so I have to use it as a point of attack, but also to improve my position because the king is this side, my rook is already here. It makes sense to push the flank pawn. And he played h4, and here again, I saw this, but then I rushed. So first things first, throw in a4 and intermezzo. I don't have to worry about h5 coming in now. And then bishop there. And here I couldn't decide between c6 and between c6 and bishop here, and I panicked and I played bishop here to e4. I panicked. I wasn't supposed to. There was no rush for this. Why? Because if c6 and then if h4, right now I can play bishop e4. I can even play like can I even play that? Oh, there's an interesting line, but that doesn't work. I can play bishop e4, and then yes, this was the line. Then there's h6, but then here there's just that. Because now okay, no, I think I have to play g6 here first. G6, yes, g6 is very important because this is an attack on a rook, and it's gonna come with a check as well. And as soon as I vacate the square, then he just picks it up, and then the pawn here is weak. Yeah, that was the line. I panicked. I was just supposed to ease up and play c6. No, played e4 immediately. Inaccuracy, but I mean it's not losing. And then bishop f2. Then I just took. Then he took. Then I played c6. But at this juncture, a3 was best. Why? Because this actually allows him to play a3 now, and I want to play a3 myself. And so my opponent doesn't realize that he doesn't capitalize on my inaccuracy with c6. Why? Because this doesn't matter. This does not matter. Let's say a3. Let's just say he takes and I take. I still get this nice solid pawn chain. I still get to castle. There is no danger here. I have all of these options. There are all of these options. No. Lucky? No. Lucky he plays c6 now. Eons later, basically. I just decided to play e6 eons later. And I mean, it was not clean, not my best, but my opponent doesn't capitalize. He plays g5. And now I throw in b5. And then after bishop d3, then now I throw in a3, which is best. Now the scales have tipped in my favor again. And after bishop e1, I don't know what he was trying to do there. I just took the pawn. Queen b6 was best. You know, be patient. But I mean, I just took the still fine, and then rook f1. Then here I castled while protecting my piece. And I believe here queen b6 or queen c7 was still fine because after the check, you just park the king here and you relax, and there's nothing. And then after queen b6, you're following up with this. Or if queen here takes check, you just go there. If he takes there, the rooks are connected behind, and the queen is jumping into a3, and it's just devastating. I decided to castle. I was like, okay, it's a great time to castle. I'm still winning. Position is good. And here he played queen e4, which I did play the best move, the only move, g6. And he played h4. Now here I was calculating a lot of things, and I took some time. I think you'll realize here, after bishop before, I took like a minute, which was bad. And here I should have gone for the initial plan. And the initial plan was to sack. It was after h4, to sack the rook on h2. Rook takes a2. Just rook takes a2, and yeah, what's going to happen? Because if king takes, let me show you a line. I calculated this line, and I was so caught up in trying to proofread it a lot. Now the engine gives this interesting. Is this here? I think. Check. Yes, it gives us bishop move here, because now if here, okay, but then that's just mate. Bishop a5, I mean, sorry, my mistake. Bishop a5, yes. It delays, but the inevitable will still happen. And for the life of me, I never played the sack, because even if let's say I sack, takes, I take, he has to like really take here, check, and then there. And then after rook here, yeah, there is no nothing better actually. And if he ignores me, let's say here, ignores, can just go here. Right, this is fine because of this check, just here. It's fine, like it's alright. There's not in that there's nobody stopping mate. So I'm calculating all of this like within a minute. I also don't want to lose on time, and I'm sort of feeling pressure at g6. I'm like, look, this is objectively winning. It doesn't matter. And then I go and I play a bishop b4 mistake. Literally, my opponent is equalizing. Also, it's important to note the king, the rook, and the queen. This knight can leap here. Let's say the queen is not there. It can leap here, fork these two pieces in this line, right? In this line. It can also jump here and fork these three pieces. And there's a king in the check. I see all of this. I'm like, how do I get rid of this bishop? Because now it's covering this diagonal nicely. And now I cannot jump here immediately because the queen is there. Like, then I start, you see, this is why when you start thinking long, you're going to make mistakes. Then bishop b4. But then my opponent misses it. There is this time to equalize. Then here I took with the pawn, which was also same line. The same line I showed you previously would here work. Just queen a5, because now I have access to the square because the bishop is covering this bishop. And this line would still be met with this line. It doesn't matter. If rook takes, you just grab quickly. I think I had to, well, now there's just queen check mate immediately. But then this still works. This idea of just covering with this feels scary and uncomfortable. And I didn't, yeah, my brain capacity was not working to calculate that far. Here I took, and then this was another big miss, and now I exchanged, which was an inaccuracy, but I'm still winning. I still could have just gone queen a5. Look at that, my aerodrome skills are whack this evening. But after queen here, I was like, okay, this is winning. I'm just gonna play queen a5. This is winning. And then rook takes, and now you cannot stop both. Right, there's a check coming. If not the check you take, then which is what happened, there's a fork coming. Then this is the fork, then I picked it up, check. Here I just played here, I thought you can take this, I'm gonna take check, get in here and get that one, and then it's over. We played rook there, then I played rook c8 there, c5 was the best move, and then d6 I took best move, pawn takes, and then here you'll be tempted to play b5, but he just pushes the pawn and you're kind of stuck. So the best move, which is what I played, is c4. So that once this trade happens and I unleash an attack here, this pawn is passed. And also this is a white square, bishop, this is black square. He's going to have problems. Then I have two rooks. In theory, in theory, in theory. And so even a3 here is playable, but then that will be met with this. And as soon as this vacates, you take check either way. Maybe you exchange and you're fine. So after rook here, I just played rook there, but the engine wanted this rook to come here. I still wanted to just push the pawn because the bishop was here, but I suppose here you can play something else. No, that's a bishop, not a knight. But yeah, and here after rook c7, he just resigned. Not happy with this game. Were a lot of full critical moments where my decision making was very poor. I need to work on that. And just trust myself more because the rook captures a2 line. I saw it, but I didn't play it. I ended up playing bishop b4, which gave away the advantage completely. And I'm like, that was the whole point of a3 and taking on the pawn to be able to sack at some point. I mean, it's a well-known thematic sacrifice, you know. But yeah, I second guessed myself. That was horrible. Goes to show what happens when you second guess yourself. But anyway, have a good one. Good night. I will see you in the next one. Cheers. Bye bye.